Press the button now. Got all the kilobytes. Can't even. There's no excuse. Did it on its own then, didn't it? I didn't do that. Just did it on its own. Did it on its own, the chuffer. Did it 1 2 chuffy 1 2. 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 Well, that was quite tense. How appropriate. I was gonna. Hi, you're with Scott. It's Monday. It's always Monday. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear. This is your left ear. It's your right ear. Left ear again. In the middle. Hi, you're with Scott. It's ASMR time. It's not as ASMR time. It's not for not has been for a while, but might be one again. You know, might be one again. It has to be every 6 months, otherwise YouTube shuts down your channel. So there will be one again every 6 months. Hi, you're with Scott. It's Mental Health Monday. That's what it is. So I'm here. Tell you what though. Oh, I feel a bit rubbish. Oh, do I feel a bit rubbish? Web of a browser. Ganja Kid YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, affiliate. Thank you very much to my Chippy supporters over the last week as well. They've been giving us the super tippers for Christmas. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Capital K, Snippy Snips, and everyone. I really appreciate. Really appreciate it. There's been, what I consider to be like windfall, big chuffers of tips. So thank you. I really appreciate that. If you did want to tip me, just get these things out of the way right now. This is what we do. It's called Ko-fi.com. You buy me a coffee. It comes up on the screen. You know the gist. It's got new features that are coming to Ko-fi, and I'm going to sign up for them. So we're playing some relaxing game music in the background. If you think, why is this guy chuffing on, and you just want to talk to someone, 116-123 for free. That's free. It's the Samaritans in the UK. And in America, you've got Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Changing to a much more easy to remember 988. 988. 988. I mean, in America, you'd say numbers differently. Like in England, we say 1,000, but you might say like 1,000 or something. £1,100, $1,100 you might say, $1,200, and to me that would be $1,200. And when you say $1,200, I'm like, what? I'm confused. So the numbers are different wherever you are. You might notice a little gruffness in my voice. I mean, it's been Christmas. I hope you've had a nice Christmas. I hope you've... Oh, I don't know if you can see this. I might have to move some of the windows around. Where's my chat window? Let's move my chat over there. Oh, US snowstorms. California and western states. Battered. The only thing that should be battered is your mushrooms. Not your western states. They don't need to be battered. That sounds bad. And I know that Snippy Snips has had COVID. I shouldn't say that, should I? Should I put it on Twitter? So I suppose it's public knowledge. Feel bad. Oh no, don't say that. But I appreciate that today we might have a quiet evening on Mental Health Monday. We certainly will, because I'm going to be... I'm not even on it today. I'm not even in form. Obviously it's been Christmas. Just after the last broadcast we did here on Twitch, just after that I got poorly. Not COVID poorly, but like poorly. So then I was poorly, and then it hit Christmas, boom. So I had to be like, oh, okay, Christmas, make sure I'm washing my hands all the time. Not giving anyone else. Everyone's not... We're all fine. No one else has been poorly. We've got through it. But just 2 days after, I just feel really run down. I feel really run down. So I'm not... I had an idea tonight. What we were going to do was 5 ways to calm down. But right now, I just need to go and lie down. So I'm not going to do a good performance. I'm not going to enunciate all my words properly. I'm not going to be on it to do the comedic little jokies. In America, over where some of our regular I don't know exactly where everyone lives because America's big, but I'm just assuming they're going through it as well. And if you've been, poorly because you've had the COVID or the problems with the old, I get it. Not everyone. Today's a quiet day for me on Twitch. It's a quiet day for the Ganjipuka Warrior crew. Let's just be quiet. I was going to do 5 ways to calm down. Environmental. I'll talk you through them. I also want to show you this before we get started. Oh, that's so good. When you're feeling poorly, chocolate soy milk is the absolute banger. I want to tell you a couple of little things. I'm going to walk you through quickly through my calm downs, but we're not going to do them because I'm feeling a bit rough. We'll do them next week. Proper episode next week. I've done some research. This doorway effect, we'll talk about that because it is interesting, but we will save the anger rooms. Are anger rooms beneficial? We'll save that for next week with this science research. How to deal with anger in a healthy way. We'll say that could be next week's broadcast. 5 ways to calm down / anger. Bit of an anger management sesh. When I'm feeling more physically up to it. The more I'm talking to you on the internet, the more I feel better and in the groove, to be honest. Funny that, isn't it? It's funny that. If you sit down on the sofa and say, I'm feeling poorly, I'm glad everyone's gone home now, I can just sit down and, I feel a bit rough. Then you might start feeling more. If you get up and have a walk with the dog and talk to your friends on the internet, you might start feeling a bit better. It's funny that, isn't it? Because you know why that is, don't you? You know why that is. I'll Google it up. First 10 points for whoever knows why that is. Cognitive triangle. Can have a little preview of it there. Can we just not have a picture of it? Just like a big old picture. There you are. There's 4 pictures there. We only want one. Want one in the middle that they can all see at home. There you are. Thoughts, feelings, behaviours. So if you think you're feeling a bit rough and you're feeling a bit low and you're feeling a bit down, that might make you go and sit on the sofa, change your behaviour, mightn't it? My feelings. It might actually be your feelings. Let's start Feelings. I feel rough. Got a bit of a... done a bit of... had the Christmas dinner. And then everyone's gone to bed and I'm like, maybe I do fancy a bit of food now. And then I thought, maybe I shouldn't have eaten all that. Like all of us. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten all that. I feel a bit, might just want to sit on the sofa today. That's my feelings. That influences my thoughts. I think I feel bad. I think I feel bad. My behaviour is I'm going to stay on the sofa. I'm not going to... But if I didn't think that, if I thought maybe I feel better, I might not. Until I go for a walk and start talking to you on the internet, my behaviour was different. That changes the way I feel. Now I actually feel better. It's funny that, isn't it? If you swap the chocolate soy milk for orange juice or some similar vitamin C based, might feel better. So that's the cognitive triangle: thoughts, feelings, behaviours. It's worth keeping in mind. Mental Health Monday, little tip. And what I was going to tell you about before we get into that, we're not doing that. We're doing it. I'm a bit confused. You see, I do feel a bit, and I do need to move around my web browser so you can see it. Make it a little. This is the BBC News. It's the official news from the official Queen's British Broadcast Service. Portishead teen Lara Tang's mental health care box helps young people. 12 hours ago, Jasmine... I like it when they actually say who's written the story. Jasmine... I don't like it when people's names are difficult for me to pronounce. It's not because it's not like a... It's not me being rude. It's just certain words. I mean, I'm not good at... it's not me being rude. It's just I'm not good at, like, words that are new to me. By Jasmine Ketibua. Oh, there's another bit. Foley. Ketibua Foley. I always think about these hyphen names. Like, if that's the name you were given because your parents had a hyphen name, that's that then, I suppose. If it's you've just got married and you're like, I didn't really want to lose my name, but the culture says I have to take the name of the person I've married, but I still want my name, really. It's going to have a hyphen in there. Put your name in the middle so it looks like a middle name and have my name at the end. If that's the case, I'm a bit... I think you got to just, like, grin and bear it. It's just the way of the world, isn't it? If you have to just change it. I suppose, on the other hand, you can just do what you want these days. Who am I to say? Mental Health Monday, the official advice is just do what you want. Who am I to say? web browser, little me in the corner, bit tired. Oh, it's not traditional. Oh, stick to the standard way of society said to how to do it. Stop confusing me. I'm tired. See? There's a difference, isn't there? Big face. Oh, just do what you want. It's a modern world. If you want to have Ketubah Foley, if you want to put another hyphen there and just, you know, make up something else to stick it on the end. Like Chuttimangle. If you want to have Ketubah Foley Chuttimangle, and then they'd say, what's Chuttimangle? And it's like, your husband's name. You'd say, no. I just do what I want, mate. Heard it on the internet. I'd be alright with that. I'd be fine with that. What do you mean, Chuttimangle? It's not appropriate, is it, for someone just to stick whatever they want on the end of their name just because they fancy it? You have what you're given, mate. You have what you're given. You learn to love it. You like it or lump it. You have what you're given. Don't be silly, mate. It's a modern world. People can just, they're free to express themselves, be who they want to be. You don't have to if you're given, you know, a bit of a chuffy, you know, you can turn your cards, chuff it. Have those cards, but I'm doing something else. I'm going to do something else. It's up to you. It's up to you. I have whatever names I want on my passport, thanks. I just write it into, there's a service, you pay the money, you can have whatever name you want. It's up to you. It's not up to you, it's up to whoever named you. It is, though. You can do what you want. Lara Tang, she's done whatever she wants. She's made a mental health care box and it helps young people. A teenager's been making free mental health care packages to support young people who are struggling. Portishead skater and surfer Lara Tang started making them during lockdown and has made, there she is on the surfboard. That's what you want to see, isn't it? I know. Yeah, I know you. You there watching it. You were like, why has he scrolled down to the words? I don't want the words. He can read the words. I want to look at the picture. What's she doing there? She's on a surfboard. Surfer. Surfing. So there you go. I wonder sometimes, because the BBC have written this. It's gone in the BBC, but Jasmine Ketubah Foley's written it. I wonder if she said, Lara, can I have some photos to go with the article? And Lara said, yes, absolutely. Here's my promotional photo of me on a surfboard that I use for my surfboard promotion. And they said, no, Lara, we're doing the thing about the packages. Oh, here's a picture of the packages then. Can we have a picture of you with the packages? No. I want you to choose the surfboard picture, if you would. Alright, Lara, but it's not very Christmassy, is it? Yeah, but it's one of my best, isn't it? It's a really good picture. Could be brighter in the face. Well, you know, it's difficult to take a photo of someone on a surfboard, isn't it? So let's not criticise the lighting on the face. Could be brighter on the face. It's alright. Painting with light, it's bright on the one side. It's actually quite cool. It's not, you know, they've still got, it's not so dark that you can't see her features. It's actually quite cool. Quite like that photo. I'm a fan of that photograph. I like the framing on it. The framing's really good. The big old wave. I like the water. Anyway, so she's there. She does surfing. Not only does she do surfing, what I wanted to know is, did she send them lots of different photos and they've said in the BBC, we'll use the surfboard one, or has she sent them the surfboard one and said use that one? That's what I want to know. But she's sending out these packages. They've got the photo of the packages. They've got that. She sent out more than 200. What's in them? What's in them? Don't worry. This isn't like prisoner cell block, prison break. It's not that sort of thing. It's not a cake with a file in it. It's all nice things. It's not a package of... It's not something dangerous. It's nice things. What she sent is, there's a little note there, handwritten, a little book about support, chocolate, which I think is, I can see the chocolate on the one side and the other. You can't see the chocolate on the other side because my face is in the way, but trust me, there's another bit. So I can see the chocolate and I'm like, ooh, that's where I'm drawn towards. And then some sweeties and like...
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's that supposed to be, some kind of symbol?
Oh, God.
I think I was trying to suggest something about the duality of man, sir.
Oh, God. Look at chat. Okay, right, look. Chat's... Well, wait, that's not fair. Now, look. Oh.
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's
How
that
does
supposed
this
to be, some
work?
kind of sick joke?
I think I was trying to suggest something about the duality of man, sir.
Oh God, I'm too poorly to be waving my arms like that. I don't know if you see my face get flushed. Thank you for the tippies. I've got to just scroll back through to see what this is all from earlier on now. Out of context. Do you love ContraPoints or hate them? I love them. There's a song about the hotline. I said poorly, yeah. Butter in the mince pies, yeah. Do you know what? Actually, it could be that I've eaten some not vegan. That's probably not helped, has it? Yeah. I had it open. It was on there, wasn't it? You saw it was on there in the main window, but this was hidden under the big window of the browser. It's just there now. Got it all. Screaming into the void. Don't worry, I'm here now. Chuffing. Right. There we go. I've got to calm down, waving the hands for the coffee tippies. It's nice to see you all. It's nice to see you all. Like I said, now that you're here, I'll tell you again. What I thought we were going to do tonight on the WebBubba browser was going to be 5 ways to calm down if you're feeling stressed. I've got some research about why you forget things when you go through the anger rooms. I'm not doing any of that. We're going to have a little chat about this and have a little chat about that. I'm not going to do the 5 tips because I can't be animated enough to do an edit. I can't be like, ugh, and talk and then the edit. Future me, I won't be. I'll be looking at myself in the edit and I'll be like, why are you so low key? Poorly, isn't it? Poorly. That's what's happening. Got you now. Let's move this chat so it's bigger. Where's chat? Chat window. Why is it so little on the screen? How do you embiggen it? Usually it's bigger. Big on me telly. Big on me telly. Little on the. Why is that? Weird, isn't it? Why is this a little? No, it's massive. I mean, how's that happened? Because I hope you're alright. Actually, now that I've got now I can see. I hope you're not feeling poorly out there, even though you might have the old, the poorlies. I hope you're not feeling poorly. That's the main thing. Because I saw that you might be feeling poorly. You are poorly. Oh God. Mild poorly. Good. We'll be praying that it's, remains mild. We're praying it remains mild. Because that'd be such a chuffing. I would be so cross at the chuffers who spread that chuffing stuff around and made you poorly. I'm already quite cross at them. But I would be so cross if you were really poorly. You haven't been sick in 2 years. That's fair. That's fair. If you spend your time helping people who are poorly, you really don't deserve. It's like when I go picking up dog poo. Sometimes I have to pick up someone else's dog's poo because they've left it, and I don't want it just there. I know it sounds a bit gross. Oh, what are you doing picking up somebody else's dog's poo? Well, it's only dog. I pick up dog poo all the time from my dog. If I see it, I'm just like, look, I've got an extra bag. That's going in the bin as well. Easy done, job done. I don't deserve then to tread in it. I don't deserve to tread in it. No, you don't deserve to tread in it. You're poorly, but it's your fault. You deserve it. You deserve it. You have all your own punishment. You deserve it. I don't know how we're going to fix this. I don't know why chat has gone, because earlier it didn't work, and now usually we have it on the screen over here, about the same size as my face, right? And usually it's about big enough that but for some reason it looks so little. Maybe it's because my windows are different. It looks so little, and I want it so the people at home can read it. Oh yeah, while we're here, I don't know if everyone knows, I'm never going to be able to find the windows to show you, but we did a Ganji Kid Art chat. I dropped that. Ganji Arts, changed the name of it now. Ganji Arts. Ganji Kid Art chat is in my brain forever, but Ganji Arts is easier to understand. And I've done Sexist Rubbish, said what it is on the title of the. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe on the title of the thumbnail, I shouldn't write what it is, because people are going to be like, "Oh, I've seen what he said there. Seen what sexist rubbish." That's what he thinks. Chuffer. It's antibiotics for that. You shouldn't keep eating the antibiotics like they're Smarties, because then they don't work, I'm told. But then on the other hand, if you need antibiotics, then there's no choice. You just have to have them, don't you? So, like, I don't know what the situation is with that, but I'm told, I'm reliably informed. I don't want to worry you on Mental Health Monday, but I'm reliably informed that the next wave of flesh-eating bacteria will be resistant to all our antibiotics because we took too many antibiotics when we felt poorly, and now the flesh-eating bacteria is coming back the size of a lion, and it's going to have your leg. That's what I'm told, and your antibiotic cricket bat won't be able to bash it in the head. So anyway, that's Ganji Arts. I've done a review of a game. I said it was rubbish. I didn't say it was rubbish. I made a critique and I gave some, evidence and backed up what I was saying. It's an opinion. If you don't like the opinion, you can go there and chuff all about it. Chuff about it. Have a chuff about it. I don't know. H Bomber Guy. Yeah, let's talk about ContraPoints. Let's talk about ContraPoints. I had a little one of my turns then when I went. I felt the pressure in my right there where my fingers are. It's not a heart attack, remember? It's not a heart attack, not for me. I've had that checked apparently. Let's talk about ContraPoints. ContraPoints is brilliant. So ContraPoints makes these videos, and although in the recent one I think it could be more brightly lit, because I'm quite brightly lit. Let's be fair about this. Where's my big face? Oh, now you can't even see my face at all. So it's actually fine. I actually see that, and I think that looks fine. Chat's massive. How's chat got so big? How have you got? Why's chat got so big? It creates mood, yeah, moody. Well, what am I creating then? What am I creating? I'm creating mood. The mood is that I have to squint because it's so jumping bright. I have to keep my eyes half closed. It's not because I'm stoned. It's because I've got two spotlights in me, one for each eye. Like, yeah. So she makes these videos. I mean, you all know. You've all seen them. They're brilliant. Well researched, well thought out. She's got, because I went to university and I also did at college sociology and psychology and stuff, and I'm interested in those sort of topics. And she's obviously got a similar interest in sociology, but when you go and learn it at university and college, you learn about what happened in the olden days, because in the olden days they wrote the books, which became the things that they used as teaching tools. Then when you do a degree yourself, they're like, why don't you write something of your own? That happens right at the end. But so there's not so much modern sociology in that. I'm talking 20, 30 years ago when I was first in 30 years when I was first engaged in 20 years ago when I was first engaged, whatever. So I've learned a bit. It's nice to see someone modern talking about what's happening right now with those sociological frameworks. Oh, I need chocolate soy milk to keep me going today. So I really like the concept there, and then there's the additional intellectual layer of I'm on the same sort of side politically. So yeah. I like that, and quite often those two things sort of collide. Well, she's been bashing. Okay, wait, we'll get onto the vegan thing in a minute. This is complex. It gets complex. So quite often those two things collide, right? So I like her political opinions, and I like the angle that she's coming from. Not just to be like, oh, I'm angry about this or I think about that, but sociologically, how psychology, sociology, philosophy, how real intellectual ideas, through that prism, I like it. I like the content, right? I like the content, and then I think there's a lot to learn from the content. If you don't like it, even if you're not on the same side of the fence, I think there's still a lot to learn, a lot of perspectives to think about. Certain things that I might not have thought too deeply about have been brought to my attention through her content. And then there's this other, on top of that, right, you've got this other thing that's wicked. I'm looking at you on my big face. We need to have the browser as well. Where's the browser? There you are. Well, that's covered you over now. Saying she was bashing, that's gone. How do I move it around the web browser? Why is everything such a... I haven't done anything to this computer. I just haven't used it for a couple of days, and now everything's changed like size. And chat, you're massive. That's not even the chat. That needs to go right on top. The coffee that needs to go on top. Okay, this will be close. Then chat, what I'll do is I'll move you up there like, until we get the most recent one. There we are, right. Yeah, we're not hyphenating, no hyphens. I just said, oh no, wait, we're on Big Face, we're allowed to do what you want with your name. Yeah, we're allowed to do what we want. So ContraPoints makes these videos, and I've clicked something then, something came up as like a little pop-up, and it was like, do you want to click this or not? And I clicked it, and I don't know what it was, because I wasn't thinking, so that's helpful. Oh god. Maybe I'm being hacked. ContraPoints here is like, also, on top of what I've just said, there's this other layer of aesthetic, which is that it's somebody who seems to have been to film school, or at least, like, you know, the same... When I started making ASMR, this sort of aesthetic didn't exist in the mainstream YouTube video world, and it has become more mainstream for people to put some sort of set, light it, light themselves, dress. And I know most of my ASMR videos were not like that, but I don't know if you remember way back when I first started Patreon, I bought some bits of wood and I put them together to make this a set, and I made it, like, I made the wood thing, and it could have been anything then. I wanted it to be Old Daisu's bathroom from a film called Old Boy, and that became like, the whole project of building a real set like in my house became way much more difficult than I thought it would have been, and I never got to do it. I never achieved it, because like just me and a little bit of building a set in my room is a lot, honestly, like, it's a lot more complex than you think, set design. Anyway, so I aspire to that. You know, it's what we're doing here, isn't it? I've got lighting, I've got a background, and my face is lit, just the basics, because I'm not, you know, creating any narrative with my lighting, am I? I'm just here talking to you. So, but ContraPoints understands more than the basics, and also explores and plays with some of those things. Like in this one here, Jordan Peterson there, you can see in the thumbnail it's red and blue contrasting lights, and in some of the others there's different lighting. Like red and blue is quite a classic, and then you've got the more streamery sort of purple, like magentas, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like there's different lighting effects going on, and there's different caricatures and characters that come through are lit differently, different reasons for lighting choices, and a lot of effort and higher quality execution. Like if I try to do, like if I said to myself, like this one, the Apocalypse video there, just on the thumbnail, she's like some sort of slightly mad scientist, she got the steampunk goggles and the stuff that, if I said I'm going to create that myself, I would not look as good as she does there. Even giving me the same budget, do whatever, you know, time to work on it, I could have the same vision. Like I see her vision, she realises it really, really well. I'm kind of like in awe. in a way. I think in awe is probably the best way to describe it. Yeah, so I think ContraPoint's brilliant. So then you've got this other world, which is Twitter. Now, can I show you my Twitter? I don't think I can show you my Twitter because things come up that are like horrible. Please put on a mad scientist wig. Okay, one of these days I'll have to try and be a... It's too obvious. It's a mad scientist. It's too obvious, isn't it? I just do Farnsworth. I just think of Farnsworth. That's who I like. Farnsworth. Good news, everybody. That's who. Good news, everybody. So ContraPoints is brilliant. Twitter's just like a mess. I follow people who are like all over the show, and some of the things that I have to unfollow some people because they get cross when I like cheeky comment on some of the things they say. But I don't know. I don't know. Twitter's a nightmare. ContraPoints has the same problem on Twitter. It's an absolute nightmare, and I'm not aware of the whole internet work. Like some of the people on the alt left, because ContraPoints is on what you call the alt left, right? Well, this is Mental Health Monday now, just diversion. which is fine because I started it by saying we're diverting it by not quite fit. We'll get back to that girl on the surfboard in a bit. Look, ContraPoints, right? What she does is brilliant. She exists in this alt-left space, which is that if you're big enough, you've got enough subscribers and followers, like you're visual enough on more than one social media platform. YouTube is her, her platform of creation, the place that she creates for. But I imagine she also exists on other social media. I don't know because I don't look at Instagram. So I imagine I could research it, but I don't. I don't want to look and find out. I just imagine. So she also has Twitter, though. I know that because I'm on Twitter myself. So, and then Twitter, you type something and everyone hates you, and then you type something for somebody else and they hate what you can't put any nuance. I typed something which is supposed to be like a cheeky little. A good example of today was a newsreader from CNN whose opinions have made me question their opinions sometimes in the past, so I followed them. They tweeted a Shakespeare quote today, but they didn't understand the context of the quote. So I tweeted, are you sure? What I actually tweeted was, are you saying you're a liar? Because the quote was, it's Rosalind when she's dressed as a man in As You Like It, and she's saying basically like, it's a quote about lies and oaths sworn with wine. Like the point being that if you say something when you're drunk, it's like basically like lying, because you can't hold someone to something they said when they were drunk. They don't even know what they're saying. Like they're drunk. It's like a deception. And she's saying to this person, "You sure you love me? Because I might be as true as a truth sworn in wine, as in I'm not really what you think I am." So she put this quote, but like she put the quote with a picture of her like drinking some wine, looking sexy, like ooh hello me, like. Like this classic, like, ooh, hello me. I'm going to I'll pull my face. You take the photo. Are you in the toilet? Wait till they've gone to the toilet. That's probably what they do, isn't it? I don't know, because I don't do these photos. They probably wait till their date's gone to the toilet, and then they get the phone out while they're out in the toilet. Oh, Get the waiter over. Can you hold the phone for me? Take the photo when I say, not when I say now, but a few seconds later, because I want to pull this. When I've got the face, then you take the photo. Right, anyway, so she's doing the face. She got the wine. She put the quote, and the quote means, like, I'm deceitful and not what you see is not what you get. Like something untoward. Don't believe me when I tell you what that's what the quote means. So I wrote underneath it, "Are you saying you're a liar?" Because I thought it was funny, because that's what the quote means. And she's written back to me to say, you need to be schooled, or like you didn't go to 8th grade or something like that. Like trying to imply that I've got it wrong, but I know I haven't got it wrong. And then so that's Twitter for you. I don't know where I'm going with this. Where I'm going is, look, monkeys throwing poo. It's like an absolute, like, it's anti-vaxxers. Look, yeah, anti-vaxxers. Do you know what I mean? I don't even bother to argue with the anti-vax. I've gone way beyond that. I used to be on Facebook some years ago, and if you probably could dig out my old Facebook posts where I argue with people, and some of them have probably disappeared because they've deleted all of their response. I remember once me and Maria Gentle Whispering had this huge argument about whether promoting Playboy was a good idea. And like she was on the side of yes, because her and this other woman had done an article for Playboy Croatia about ASMR, and it was called like Braingasms, and there was a photo of her, and it was in Playboy, and like she'd put it on the Facebook thing, like. And then all these ASMR people were like, they were like, "Oh, isn't it great that you're promoting the message, spreading the message?" Any time, because about 5 or 10 years ago, or whenever it was, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever anything ASMR came up, anyone in the ASMR community, whenever it was put on any piece of media, before it quite broke mainstream, it was because it suddenly, like, it's a bit weird. Every piece of media, every Vice magazine, and everyone wanted to have a bit of a taste of ASMR on it, didn't it? And everyone shared all these articles, and she shared this thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, well done, good article." Oh, isn't it? It was in Croatian. They couldn't read a word of it. I had to because it wasn't even, I had to get the text and type it into a translator, because it wasn't copy paste. It was a photograph of the article, so I couldn't translate it. I had to get the text and type it in. Oh, it took me a good long time to find out exactly what was said in that article, but I knew. So when I said, "This is what you've done here is not a good idea," I think it's a bad way to share the ASMR message. It sexualizes it. It makes it look like it's women doing sex in your ears, and you put it in Playboy. And what Playboy do on the follow on to that is pretty bad. Like, let's not even get into that, because we could open that box. I did on the internet, didn't I? And all the people hate me. Maria hated. She was like saying some very mean things. Maria Gentle Whispering. I saw a very different side to Maria Gentle Whispering. I'll tell you what, it wasn't. It wasn't gentle and it wasn't whispering. And some of it was ad hominem, which means she says mean things about people like me and other people that like me, really, me mainly. So she deleted that and the other things and the other stuff. So maybe you can't find it. I don't know. That's the world of ContraPoints and Twitter as well, isn't it? So ContraPoints is on Twitter. And that's a big mess. And if you're on that alt left, I didn't even say anything about being trans, did I? ContraPoints is trans. I don't know if you're allowed or supposed to say transgender or not, or just trans or trans, because I think like it changes quickly. This is, and I'm conscientious, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. But so you've got all this politics, yeah. You've got all this politics, and so ContraPoints is in that eye of the storm quite often, and I don't, like I said, I did those posts about Facebook, 3 a.m. Christmas Eve posting things. Oh my god, like, yeah, I did those posts like 5 or 10 years ago when I was much younger and Facebook was much more modern and novel, and it was like, wow, the world can hear you, and you know, all this. Now I realise that you're just talking to everyone's auntie, because like you know, nobody gives a shit unless you're promoting your brand aware of, you know, I don't know. I'm not, let's not get me onto this. I don't even use the chuffing thing, do I? And nor does anyone else these days. Everyone's chuffed off Facebook and they're all on SnapTalk and TikChat. So, you know, Facebook are trying to get you in that headset world. I'm in the headset world because I enjoy the games. I'm quite happy with that. But they want everyone in the headset world doing their tick chatting and face mapping so that they're on the new thing. Because forget these kids. They've lost those kids to tick chat and Snapchat. They've lost those kids. So they need to get the next wave. And all that's left on Facebook are the slightly older people who still, you know, or are just getting used to and are a bit more easily confused by false narratives and fake agendas and share them more often. Yeah, Facebook's a bit more of a wild wilderness now. ContraPoints. Social media. So I don't know about all of these things that go on. What's this jazzy music now? The chuff? I said relaxing. You said relaxing. We had a deal. What's this? That's got to be chuffed off immediately. Oh, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just it didn't suit the mood. This is much better. Smoking, naughty. So ContraPoints, right? She's been in trouble with vegans recently. Now, I don't know. Until she makes a video about it, I won't know the full story. Oh, but you're going to get her side. She's a fair person. She does show other people's opinions of her in quite brutal detail sometimes. I kind of trust her to just be a bit fair. But, you know, whatever. But she's been mean to the people. Snippy snip. She's been mean to the people. She said bad things about the vegans. The vegans and her have fallen out. I don't know what the crux of it is. I don't know where the original sin was. I don't know where the die was cast. I'm a vegan, but I'm a massive, huge fan of ContraPoints. Now, I want to relate this back to not a specific ASMR character. I just did talk about a specific one then because it came up in my brain all of a sudden. But not a specific ASMR character, but just the old attitude I used to have. Do you remember, because we're doing big face, little face, remember web browser? Remember this little face where I'm like, oh, I've got these ideas, oh, I want to stick to these ideas, oh, you should make sure you use your punctuation properly. Make sure you punctuate things properly. People these days don't punctuate things properly. They're not even used to it. They don't write a letter, dear sir, comma, tab, I am writing to inform you. You know, they don't, it's on text. You're right, mate. They don't punctuate things. If they're tweeting and like they're Facebooking, I'm not the grammar police. Grammar's fluid anyway. In 200 years, if they don't use punctuation anymore, what does it matter to me? I'm dead. Gotta let that go, mate. Yeah, but I really, like, it was taught me when I was a kid and I'm really angry about it. The people that taught me it were really angry about it and I've internalised their anger. It was beaten into me. Now I want to pass that on to someone else. And God help me, the internet's full of them. So can't I just tell them? Can't I just tell them they're pronouncing the letter H wrong? That's, well, in all fairness, yeah, you can tell them about the letter H because that's a cut and dried. They are pronouncing it wrong. It's H, isn't it? It's not H, it's H. But right, getting back to me, kind of just tell them about, no, you can't, big face, you can't tell them about all these things. No, they've got to, you know, you've got to let it go, haven't you? So I'm not the internet police. I'm not the internet police. I don't know where it comes down to. I don't know what the first thing she's done to offend the people. Going back to what I was saying about these ASMR people, I do know that in the past, and this is the past, this is the little face me, but I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to tell you what I used to do, how I am. How I probably still am in ways. That voice is still inside me. I have to learn to let it go, don't I? But, or maybe I don't. We'll see. Hang on, we'll see. So, ASMR people that I love do ASMR videos. Oh, it's just tapping. Oh, it's nice. Then they veer off into two different worlds that really offend me, right? One is I'm going to grub for money off the people who are vulnerable. Do you remember Saffron had an anxiety attack in 5 dates and we said she was anxious. Now we should stop the date and we shouldn't try and coerce her. It's people who are feeling vulnerable, so they're coming to the work and then you're saying, this is a way I can earn money. Like that thing in your mind, if that's gone on, if that's happened, my views are going up. These vulnerable people like my work, I can earn some money. Like that makes me sick. So I hate those people. But you know, it's a spectrum, isn't it? It's a spectrum. Some people deserve. I'm here receiving donations. Mental Health Monday. Vulnerable people. What's going on? You know, it can't be both things, can you? I don't know. Who am I to judge those people? It's a long time different now, isn't it? I used to judge those people by those standards. I don't know if personally these days, I still kind of think, yeah, maybe, you know, kind of, you know, the evangelists are out there, you know, put the money in the plate, God will help you, throw away your pills. So are they horrible people? Are some people doing that through ASMR? Yes, yeah. Are some people just so wrapped up in their own self-image that they like the views and they forget the people who are vulnerable? Yeah. You know, whatever. Not here as the police though, am I? Right. So I'm not here as the police, but there's another thing that I used to really, you know, a line I wouldn't cross. Alcoholism is really negative, especially for the vulnerable who are struggling with their sleep. All the people that are into the ASMR for all those reasons, feel anxious, trouble sleeping. If they're drinking, that's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. So any channel that has got all this ASMR, sleep, relax, help you, whatever, all that, and in amongst that content has got alcohol, and we're going to have to talk about Laura Lemire X in a second, aren't we? Any channel that's got that alcohol in there as well, I think, oh God, you either haven't seen the light, like you haven't seen, this is, you need to have a serious think about this, because you could be making someone's life dramatically worse by subtly putting those two things together on your choice, your advert, your content. Do you know someone that's drunk themselves into a bad state, into it, not just the one-off, you know, I got drunk and I feel sick, but their life is detrimental. Of course, we all do know someone whose lives are negatively affected. It wasn't just me personally; it's people I know around me. It's like loved ones I have. So you know that those two things put together, I can back you, I can like you, I can support you. When I was making that ASMR road trip, I was like looking at people's channels and thinking, like, can I feature them on my documentary? Do my ethics fit? Emma might have gone a little bit woo-woo with some of the magic tapping, makes you feel like sorts your problems, therapy. Anyone can call themselves a therapist, you know. So that happened after we made the documentary. I don't know, like I have all these things in my head, yeah. So what are you saying there? You know, listening to me chuff martinis, yeah. So with all that in mind, I used to have a very cut and dried bar. If you step over the ethical into the landmine area, you know, if you're on there selling your plastic toys, if you're on there profiting from the vulnerable without giving the correct advice, mind.org, seek the NHS, talk to the doctor, if you're not researching, if you're not bothered about them, if you're taking the money, you know, I used to not advertise, remember, and all that business. If all that's going, you know, I had a cut and dried. You're not on my team, you're on team YouTube, get yourself to be an influencer. That's the way you're going. My team, anxious, vulnerable, helping, you know, Mental Health Monday team, same sort of thing, isn't it? Like, you know, we're not on. I don't want that energy in this, do I? I don't want that energy in this. This energy is about giving. That energy is about taking. So, you know, you make these videos and you give something, but then you want something in return, like you're taking. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, there was this line like so. ContraPoints of veganism is like that, isn't it? It's like that. I'm a vegan. She spoke out anti-vegan. That's the line. It's not about money this time. It's about personal ethics. It's really problematic for me. It is really problematic. Do I still love ContraPoints? Yes. Right, and here's one of the magic things about veganism. Doing a very random vegan thing now. One of the magic things about it though is that you can, like, we all naturally are vegan, but then we're taught to be carnivores and we're told this is right and we learn these ideas, and then when you shake them off later you think, oh god, can't believe I used to say that, and think, I used to be the people saying the bad things about the vegans. I used to argue and, you know, make the jokes, didn't I? Because I used to be the carnivore. I was like, oh, it's just the normal way of the world. You know, get on with it. This is what animals are for. I treat them nice. I eat organic. I make sure they're healthy. They give me a good tummy. Caveman. Rah. It's how we were brought up. It's how we're raised. It's how we're supposed to be. You know, it's protein. I used to have all those same thoughts, and, you know, so maybe she has some cognitive dissonance. Yeah, I think we all do it. All born vegan. No, you are. Because there's nothing in the vegan diet that's going to hurt you, is there? If someone just gave you vegan food, you're not going to be like, oh my god, what's this? Allergies. No. You can eat all that fruit and vegetables. You're born vegan. It's only when someone starts giving you animal products that your body has to start tolerating, get that bacteria in that tummy to break that down. Not used to that. What's that? What's that? Well, I mean, alright with the... alright with my natural flow. As soon as you start adding in something a bit... you know, little babies, yeah, and quite often the babies don't eat any animal products other than mommy's animal products. And then, you know, meat goes in the diet. So it's a thing that I see all the people that are not vegan as just, you know, I have so much compassion for their point of view because I used to think exactly that not so long ago. I suppose in 10 years' time I'm not going to be as compassionate toward them because I'll have thought this other way for such a long time and they've had a lot more time to think it through. But in these early stages of it, I've been vegan for quite a long time now, but big meat. Big meat, like Big Pharma. It's not Big Pharma's got his own big meat. Way, come and have a look at my big meat. Can't slice any off, but has to be taken all in one. The point being that I do have that leniency towards non-vegans because so many of them people are, and I don't want to get into the arguments. I just think they'll learn in their own time. There's a lot of good information I can put in front of them in hopefully nice ways. A lot of sort of comedies we can draw out of the, you know, looking at that vegan taxidermist, and I can be a bit more ranty at times, but yeah, it's not about it's not a war. It's not a war. So the filter H, yeah, I did set the filter to maximum. I was like, what's the point in having a filter if you're not going to put it on maximum? What do you want your filter out? Just halfway. Set your filter at halfway so some bad things can get through. Yeah, so ContraPoints is tough, and I don't know what the argument is. I don't know where the lines are drawn. I didn't follow the Twitter beef, and I'm not going to dig up all the old ground and go over it because that's a waste of my time. I think this person is so enlightened and modern that it's a surprise that she's not even philosophically thought through veganism and thought maybe there's an option there. You know, maybe I should have a look at that. And like I say, this is you as well, Capital. I think everyone that explores vegan, there's this idea that you are giving something up, but actually, if you look at it as a way to explore something new, then veganism can be a real a journey, and like you can find lots of new things that you never thought you didn't know I was going to enjoy that, but that was really nice, sort of thing. So I thought like ContraPoints is the sort of person who would be into that sort of thing, and that means that I still think she probably will be. And I think that what will happen is in years to come she may be, if I've spent some time saying mean things to her I don't know how that's going to make her more receptive to veganism, and I don't know how it's going to make her feel about me. So what I'd like to think is that
You're right, born to kill on your helmet, and you wear a peace button. Was that supposed to be some kind of signal?
I think I was trying to suggest something about the
I can
duality
usually
of
do
man,
this for
sir.
the whole time, But I've ran out of puff then. Thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you for the tippies. On Sunday, we'll go through and look at all the exact details of each tippy, because it means opening up more windows, and I'm really... God, that just made me sweat then. I'm really feeling it. But thank you. Nice to have you here. Nice for the tippies. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think beating her up is going to make her feel better about vegans or about veganism. It's not going to make her feel good about me. And I think as vegans, we should... Like, there's so much information out there now that I don't have to sort of force the issue. What I do is I go on Twitter, and I know that there's been this problem, this like slew of shit, this horrible place, Twitter. So I tweet ContraPoints every day, not the last few days because I felt poorly and it's been Christmas, but every day I do a little tweet of just a nice picture, something they might like, and then at ContraPoints, daily dose of vegan love, so that they can see on the... Because they probably... Listen, ContraPoints has probably got like a bajillion tweets every day. They're on political... Like, they're the... Like... I followed ContraPoints when it was 100k followers, or less. Less than 100k followers was when I subscribed to ContraPoints. 1.5 million subs. You know, they've gone astronomical. So I imagine ContraPoints doesn't even see my tweets. Like, I honestly think that I'm tweeting into this sort of like they've probably got like a bajillion tweets on their thing, and they go through it. They probably don't even look. They look at the DMs from the people who have got like the blue tick or whatever. And me, you know, little old me, just somewhere in there is like, by the way, we love you. And it probably seems quite pathetic, but really I just want them to see, if they do, you know, if they have a little scroll, the hashtag vegan and the ContraPoints, when they go together, is love. Nice. Here for you when you're ready. Not, oh, you're not better, you're not better. Not that. Not that. I'm sure she sees you and loves you. No. Sorry that you can't stay, Nige, but yeah, we'll catch up on the... I'm always trapped in the internet after I've edited myself. Part of my soul remains trapped in the internet, and you can watch it dance. You know, you can click view, and it electrifies it back into life. Small part of my soul trapped in the internet box. I think that's how it works, isn't it? I think that's how it works. So yeah, and part of your soul is now trapped in there too. So we're all there, and when someone fires up this video at a later date, parts of our souls fire into life, trapped in the internet. Thanks. Hope you've had a nice Christmas. Yeah, I hope we all have out there in Christmas world, in your world. I know it's all been a bit heavy. I know there's been a few. I know everyone's had a bit of a, you know. I know it's we're nearly there. We're nearly through. We're nearly through it. So that's ContraPoints. You know. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Well, we're all gonna. I'll do some more streams before New Year, but yeah, Happy New Year. I'm going to do it quietly. Quiet New Year. Not going to... It's my sister's choice as to what we do on New Year, and hopefully it's going to be quiet. You talk amongst yourselves. It's okay. It's not like a classroom where I can hear you or anything. It's fine. You talk amongst yourselves. So that was ContraPoints. This... Because bear in mind, you know, it's nearly... What is it now? 2053. What does 2053 mean? Is that like, it's nearly 9 o'clock. I can't go on much longer. I've got to walk the dog and I feel like absolute thunder chumps. So, we wanted to say about what this girl's done. I don't know if I've said it. Lara Tang. God help me. Lara Tang. Lara Tang's done a good one. She's made these boxes. She's sent them out. She's a surfer, so they've used a picture of her surfing. I don't know if she sent it in or if that was the picture that they wanted. But it's very Christmassy all the same, her on the surfboard. It's impressive, I'll give her that. I am impressed at her on that surfboard. And this thing about the mental health. She's 18, she's took it upon herself to do this. If other people have got problems, then they can request of her, and my guess is go to the news and find it, and then click this button which will take you to the Instagram. And my guess is that if you're a young person, press this to take you to the Instagram. My guess is that you can work that. Mine says log in. I've never logged in. So there she is. You can contact throughout if you're also young, because that's your world. Oh, I'm only joking. Well, it's people surf, yeah. Oh, they chuffing well do surf in the UK. It's cold and not very... But you can still kill yourself in the sea. Absolutely. So yeah, you go and have a look at that. But what you get, and this news thing will tell you, is here's a lady, Miss Tennant, said the package helped her with self-care when she was struggling with her mental health. She's a student, she's struggling, she sent in an application in 2019, she got a package. Like, why aren't our government doing this? Why is it left for Lara? The government should get Lara Tang. 18 are you? Finishing college are you? What do you want to do for a job? We'll offer you one. You can be in charge of a young person's mental health outreach. Here's a huge budget. You already have the motivation and some good ideas. Let's give you a couple of civil servants to help, delegate some tasks to. Let's set you up in a little thing. Let's give you a couple of, let's get you rolling. Why not? Why do they throw away like all this money on Matt Hancock's and his mates? Why don't they give some to her? No, if it was up to me, I think what we're going to have to try and do this coming year is contact people like Lara Tang and get them to talk to us on the podcast. That's the future of what we do here, isn't it? That's the future. But we also need to get in contact with someone who's responsible for dishing out that money, so I can say to them, look, Lara, get Lara on the chuffing board. She's on the board, right? I did a pun. Get Lara on the board. Get her on board. Why is there no pun here? BBC, I'm doing your work for you. I know it's the news, but it's Christmassy. You can at least whack a pun in. Get Lara on board. Mental health. Look, she's smiling on the surfboard there. There's the packages. So at least we covered that. I managed to get through all of that, didn't I? I covered it. That's the main thing. The government has to care about the people to actually do something. That's a good point. Yeah, good point, well made. Yeah, good point, well made. Oh, Porridge Johnson. And we're not going to look at what anger rooms are beneficial or the doorway effect until next week. Next week we're going to do how to calm down. Samaritans, Lifeline, buy me coffee. You've bought me enough coffees now. I've got my fill of coffees to help me. ContraPoints. What are we today? What are we today? Okay, my little podcast. As we approach 9 o'clock, 8 p.m, 9 p.m. Yeah, we did a full hour. Oh, it has made me feel better being here talking to you. Has definitely made me feel better. Mentally, if not physically. Physically, I still feel a bit like I've been... You know when you're poorly and you're back and it's in your muscles, isn't it? And your back there. My shoulder. Oh, you'll be in quarantine on Monday. Oh, got a full... You've got one full hour. It's fair enough. It's an hour. It's Mental Health Monday. It's a broadcast. I turned up. I chuffing well turned up. I tell you. Chuffing well turned up. I need to be sat on a duvet. With a duvet. Oh. But instead, I'm now going to go out roaming the streets with my dog, awaiting a poop. And then once I've done the poop, I'm going to say to the dog, it's your turn to pick it up, mate. Now what are you going to do? I didn't even call out poorly today. Yeah, I'm in. I've come into work to make sure everyone else gets the sickness. Witness the sickness. And it's not the COVID because we've done the tests, and also because I was doing the throwing up. So it was that. You're going to heat the dog poo. The dog poos have to go in the bin, mate. They have to go in the bin. I don't keep the actual poos. It's the bags I warm. You want warm bags? Oh, why would you want warm bags? Well, try them. Why not try warm bags? Honest. Why not try warm bags? They're plastic, they might melt, and then the dog... You put your hand in through that, straight through. Put your hand just straight through that. The dog poop, the poop itself does warm your hands on the walk back. The poop itself. I feel grateful for my dog's warm poop. So that's the plan. I shouldn't talk about this for so often because you will associate me with it, like the poo report. You know what I mean? It's uncouth, isn't it? ContraPoints won't like that. She'll think, well, it's responsible, but it's not very attractive, is it? Poo bags. Scotty poo bags. You don't want to be known as Scotty poo bags, do you? Although, to be fair, I do quite often have poo bags on hand. I've got other things on hand too, so I'll tell you what I've got to fix it. Instead of, whenever I bring out a poo bag, that's my Matthew name, Scotty poo bags, and you'll be chopped up and put into little poopy bits and then disposed of. What I need to do is, when I bring out the bags, I need to also bring out some other item so that it distracts them from the bags, and they say, oh, Scotty flashing light, you know, Scotty. This is my Game & Watch that my sister bought me for Christmas. I'm very grateful. I have been playing Zelda on the Game & Watch. I've been playing it. It's like my old Game Boy. Mate, nostalgia for the old Game Boy. I've been playing that. So every time I bring out the poo bags, I bring out that. What, now poo bags? Now I've mentioned it to you and you know it, and now you're going to say it. Can't I be Scotty Game & Watch or Scotty Zelda? Kanji Kid, Zelda. Now I've mentioned poo. Oh. There's a streamer called Goody Two Shoes, and he could be called Goody Poo Shoes, and we could be like a team. Zelda on Switch and Netflix, yeah. There's a good. That sounds like a good evening to me. I'm gonna have to go and walk. I feel like Scott of the Antarctic. In the Antarctic, I don't know this because in America they probably don't glorify Scott of the Antarctic in the same way as we do. Did they all die? Or is it just one of them died? I can't remember now. They went to the Antarctic. It was a load of chuff. It was horrible. They were in a race to see who could get to the South Pole first. They came second in the race, so it was rubbish. They had a rubbish time. I'm laughing about this, but it's along the way, it got really bad. This was back in the day as well, before phones, like old days. Old days. They had wood on their noses to keep them warm, like a wooden nose warmer. Like, it was old days, honestly. And it was cold. They'd run out of stuff. And one of the fellas in the tent, Oates, his name was Oates, which was ironic. Oates. It's got a sort of eat me sort of name, hasn't he? But they said they definitely didn't eat him. Right? They definitely did not eat him. Right? What happened was he said, "I'm going out, and maybe sometime." And they just let him leave the tent and go for a walk. Now, they knew he was never coming back. He said, "I'm going to be sometime," meaning if you go for a walk at the South Pole on your own, you know what's going on. They said that he sacrificed himself so they could get home with the minimal rations, sharing out those minimal rations, so he wasn't a drain on their resources. But the truth may have been that they may have eaten him. I watched the movie, somehow blanked it out in the middle, I had to rewatch it yesterday, couldn't remember I watched it. This is similar, yeah. I feel quite foggy-headed myself, so that's what's happening now. I'm going walking in I feel like I'm about to go into the Antarctic and fight my way through the winter winds to get back to where I am already, so that I can then cuddle up. So you be good, my little podcast. You be good. Otherwise, you're going to have to go outside, and you may be sometime.